Go first.
Oh, okay. Hi.
Hi guys.
Oh.
Was that deep?
Hi, guys.
Was it too bad? Oh, there you go. Okay. Hi guys. Welcome to Landline. I'm Anthony,
I'm Megan.
and this is the Valentine's Day Relationship Edition.
Ooh.
Yes.
Can't wait. Let's get into it.
So we were both previously in long-term relationships, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not previously.
I'm still in a
You're
long-term
still in it.
relationship.
Not previously. Yes.
Yes. So we're gonna be answering some questions that the girls drew up for us, and hopefully you guys like it.
Okay.
You wanna be the first one?
Yes,
Okay,
I
cool.
do. Okay. Intro. Name, age, and what is your horoscope? Of course.
So
yeah, you go.
So I'm Anthony, obviously. I just said that. I'm 23, and in terms of horoscope, like my sign or whatever, I'm not really into horoscopes like that, but I know from Caro that I'm like a triple Virgo, whatever the hell that means.
A triple Virgo.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's like Virgo sun and then moon, and then it's one of the other planets or something, right? All Virgo. All Virgo.
Ooh.
So go
I have
Virgos,
no
I
idea
guess.
what that means.
Exactly. Me neither.
I'm Megan. I'm 23, and I am a Capricorn moon, and Aries something, and a Libra something. I don't know, but those are my big three. I have no idea what that means, but yeah. Okay.
I think it's for compatibility things,
Yeah.
and things like that.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm not with somebody who's looking forward to looking into that.
She's not into it?
No, I remember like talking to her about it, and she's like, "Oh, I have no idea what any of that means," and I was like, "Oh, thank God."
Yeah, that can be annoying. I'm about to hurt some people's feelings. Let me not say
Yeah,
that.
us too. Yeah, yeah. I'll pick up the next one.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. So next question is, what is your current relationship status? I feel like I already answered that too. Go ahead.
I am in a situationship at the moment. I would like to be in a relationship, but we'll see how that goes. Currently not. But yeah, and you are?
I'm in a relationship of 7.5 years.
That's a long time.
It is a long time. 8 years in June.
Oh, that's...
Had to do the math.
Yeah.
Once it gets past like 3 or 4, it's kind of like, all right, just know the year, and then you have to just count.
You're better than me. Once it gets past the first year, I can't remember. Okay. It says, why do you think you work? Why do you think you have been together this long / lasted that long?
Okay.
I think that's more for you.
Well, I think all relationships are different. Like I was saying to Kado before, I think every relationship is, definitely different. Like things are not the same, and I feel like the way mine works is like we both met when we were so young, so we kind of weren't really building anything at the time, but once we kind of knew each other's like ambitions and what we wanted to do in the future, it was always kind of building each other up. So like whenever someone wants to do something like in terms of like a career change or like something in school, whether it's like work related or whatever, it's always kind of like you always have to have an open mind about it. So I know my girlfriend, she switched majors when she was like in her first or second year, and I wasn't totally for it at first, obviously, but obviously like I tried not to put her down. I was like, you know what, like if it's what you want to do, then you have to, like you'll do it and you'll be able to do it. I trust that you'll have the the knowledge and the strength to be able to go forward with that. And it was so early on in college, I don't really think it mattered that much, but it's just kind of an example of how like you should build somebody up rather than just being like, oh, that's such a stupid thing to do, like how could you do that? Because at the end of the day, like what I want it to be is I want her to be her own person and me to be my own person, but obviously we are in a relationship, so it's kind of like we love each other at the end of the day, but I want her to be able to say like without me she's still doing what she loves to be doing, and that's the same goes for me, I think.
Oh my God. Do you have a brother or something? Because no, but I agree. I know a lot of people talk about like dating while you're young. It's like, no, you should live your life. But I had a relationship that of when I was really young, and it started really young, but you get to mold with that person. You get to grow with that person, and that is great because like when you're older, it's so hard to like mold with that person because they already have their set ways of like living life and like their own thought process on stuff. Whereas you and Kim started really young. Sorry, I just name dropped. And so you guys were able to build that relationship, and that's great. That's why a lot of relationships work or don't in my situation, where you just grow apart.
Is that what you think yours were?
Yeah, we were so young. I was literally 14 years old when I got into a relationship. So, you're like so young, and then that's like all you know. but that can also be your downfall because that's all you know. You know, it can either grow, like you can either grow with each other or you just start growing
apart,
yeah. And it worked for a while, but you know, and then it didn't.
I mean, yeah, there's obviously times where like there are disagreements. Like I'm not gonna say like my relationship is perfect, obviously, because no relationship is. So there's obviously fighting. There's obviously, you know, arguments that you guys get into. But what's important at the end of the day is like you're still your own people. You're not like in it to be like vicious or violent towards one another. Obviously not violent, but like you don't want to tear the other person down in an argument. I think that's super important. It's like you know what the other person likes and dislikes. You definitely know it can set them off. So it's not like you don't want to go there in an argument just because they might have said something hurtful towards you.
Right.
And I think that goes for like friendships too, though. It's like you don't want to say words that can hurt the relationship or the person more so than, you know, what like that time. Because obviously like that second moves on, the argument's over, but then you still said the things that you said.
Right. And that's not going back. But I also like what you said about like still being your own person. That is so important. And it's so hard when you're like in these long-term relationships to be your own person because you're so used to like your life with that person that like I almost felt guilty in my relationship for wanting to be my own person. That's probably why it didn't work, because you have to express that like you want to do your own thing and you have to have that person that like supports you, like how you supported her when she wanted to, you know, change her major and all that stuff. You have to have that communication. If you don't, then that will never work.
Oh my God, yeah. And I know it's so cliche to say, but communication is so key in a relationship. Oh my God. It's
really
like,
is.
you know, like texting, calling, whatever. Like no matter what happens, like you just always got to send something off. Because in that one little, like you can, if you're gone for like the whole day and there's nothing, I'm like what's going on? You know what I mean? There's always something in the back of your head that's like, oh, I don't know what the other person's doing. Are they okay? Whatever. And I feel like that can be seen as clingy to some people, I guess, but I like to be able to know that, like, I don't care what my, you know, other person's doing, like, at all. Like, I mean, obviously I want them to be safe, but, like, if they're wherever they're going, as long as they're safe, like, I don't really care. But, like, you know, just be like, hey, like, this is what I'm doing. And the same goes for me. Like, wherever I am, like, this is what I'm doing, and that's that. But, like, yeah, communication is so key to be able to voice what you want, what your desires are, what your needs are, and then say, what are yours, and then be able to listen to that. Is super important.
Yeah, that's so good that you got it down packed and you're so young. Like a lot of people can't say that they have that. Like I didn't have it, and that's why it didn't work. Like I said, that is so.
For the viewers, can you give a little context of the relationship you're referring to?
Oh yeah, so mine was 7 years, from 14 until I was almost 21, I believe. I can't remember honestly, but yeah, it was almost 7 years, and yeah, we were just really young. That's it. That was my first love.
But do you think, like, your relationships in the future, like, you learned a lot, like, good or bad from that that first relationship?
From the first one, not so much, because I feel like I was so young that it kind of just felt like we were best friends more than that we were in a relationship, just because we were so young, you know, like we went to school together, and that's kind of all we had going for each other. Now that I'm older, relationships are so much different because I'm grown, you know. I'm not in school at the moment. I have to work, you know. There's just so much more going on. I have real problems now than when I was younger. So not that I didn't gain anything from it, because I definitely did, but I was just so young to like know real problems, you know.
It's definitely a different dynamic, like once you leave high school. Like if you tried to keep, like if you had a high school relationship and you tried to keep it the same like in school, like in college, I feel like it wouldn't work, because they're so, like, it's so different. Like it's weird, because I don't really know how to explain it, but it's just so different, because like both of your schedules are so different, like, because obviously classes aren't like a 9 to 5 job, or like, you know, you go in at 7:30 and then you leave at like 2:30, like a high school is. Like class, you're gonna have a class from like 6 to 8 or whatever. But you know, it kind of goes back to the communication thing, where it's like, all right, here's my schedule for like Mondays and Tuesdays or whatever, and then like there's your schedule. It's like, all right, let's try to find an area where we can either meet up, or, you know, like even a FaceTime call is really enough to be able to be like, hey, like, how's it going, just to keep the relationship kind of going.
Yeah, that reassurance is so important.
Exactly.
But yeah, want to do the next question?
Yeah, sure. I feel like we might be answering all these questions
seriously.
before. So what are the pressures and challenges you've had or faced in your relationship?
Ooh. I would just say, I mean, mine was mostly middle school and high school, so I would just say a lot comes with that. Like for the younger people, like if you're in a relationship in high school, middle school, you always get those people in your ear that like it's not gonna work. Or like even my family members, they loved my ex, but like there was some people that like you're gonna outgrow him. It's, you know, it's not gonna last or whatever. And that definitely was a challenge for me. You know, I'm obviously in that mindset. I'm like, this is my love. Like I love him so much. Like, you know. And eventually it did happen, but I think that was like the biggest challenge for me, especially being in school. Being in school it's a little toxic. There's just so many people that have something to say, and it's hard. Like, and you start to make new friends, like from middle school to high school. I mean, a lot of people did go to the same high school from middle school, but there's still new people, so you're still like meeting new people. And then I started to work, and it's just like a lot of people's opinions like that really came about and like messed me up a little bit from like the challenges point of view. But
yeah. I mean, I have to say I agree. Like I think dating somebody who you've been in high school with it's really hard, because like I have like cousins of mine who were a bit older, but they went to like party schools and stuff, and they're like, oh, like how could you like go to college with a girlfriend? It's like you're gonna be partying all the time, you're gonna meet all these girls. And it's like, I don't know, I'm a true believer in like, I don't think people cheat. Like if people cheat, they're going out to do it. You know what I mean? So like I don't really ever see a problem with it, because I have no desire to want to do that to somebody. You know, like do that anybody else, let alone like someone that I love. You know, and I just think like that. I think that's the biggest challenge that I've had, is like having people in my ear telling me like, oh, I don't think it's a good idea for you to, you know, continue a relationship, you know, going into college and things like that. But I guess we were both lucky, because obviously I've never been in a long distance type of situation, so I don't know how I would fare during it, but I'm lucky that both of us kind of went to school in similar areas, that we were able to meet up so much during that.
Right. And did you live on campus?
I lived on campus for my first 2 years, but that really wasn't a problem, because she would come over my dorm like all the time, and we'd hang out. We would do homework together, and if it wasn't for that, like we'd find somewhere on campus to be able to meet and do homework and things like that. And like we found like shows that we liked on Netflix, and like sometimes if it came down to it, like she would be at her place and I'd be at my place, and we'd be on the phone. We'd just be like, all right, 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, you guys are so cute.
So it's like it's all about like the effort that you want to be able to put into it. And if you want to listen to those people in your ear telling you like the negative things about it, you know, you can listen to them and see if they were right, or you could not and see if they were, you know, wrong. So I don't think it really matters what other people say about your relationship, because at the end of it, it's you and the other person that's in it. Unless it's like super toxic, then like you need someone else to come in and be like, hey, just look at yourself in the mirror, you know.
That's so cute. It says, what are some of the benefits you have had because of a long-term relationship?
Ooh, benefits. You know what I love a lot about
No, just kidding.
I think what I like a lot about the long-term relationship is like all the different experiences you get with that one person. So like we've been to different like places, like globally, like within the United States, you know, you're trying new things like almost every single time you guys go out, you know what I mean? It's not like we never pressure one another to like do something new that's outside of our comfort zone, but we always say like, hey, this is what we're interested in. And I think that's super cool, is to be able to see somebody kind of like go out of their comfort zone because of you, and then they like it and enjoy it, and it's like a super rewarding experience to be able to see that.
That is so cute. Mine's is a little different. When I was dating my ex, and we obviously years passed and stuff like that, I grew closer with his family, and I'm still to this day we're like on okay terms, or not on the best terms, but that's what I love the most. Like I would say that was the biggest benefit, because I'm such a family person and he was such a family person that like I just loved it. I just loved being like with the family and all that stuff. It was just really great. And they come from a different background. So like I'm Puerto Rican, Italian, he was Salvadorian, so it was like really good to like see like even his mom, the way that she grew up and her lifestyle, and just get that point of view from her. Like it was so dope. Like I just love it. Yeah, and I feel like you don't get that with people, you know, that you just meet. Like you have to grow that relationship and that trust for them to open up to you like that. So
yeah, I think that's a good point to make, because like the differing backgrounds and stuff. Like, I mean, I'm white, I'm Italian, my girlfriend's Guatemalan, so it's like to be able to experience a whole nother culture it's so important, because I feel like a lot of times like in a relationship, if it's the same like kind of cultures, not that it's a bad thing at all, because obviously, you know, relationships are so different, but like I liked it because I was able to learn more about like a whole nother person's way of life, how things were for them growing up as a child, and you know, how things are now and how like family dynamics work and things like that, because it's so in my head, like, it's so important to be able to have, you know, new experiences, kind of like how I was answering. But, you know, I just think it's so important to be able to get to know other people outside of your own kind of race. But obviously, like, I think it's, you know, whatever you guys do is what you do, and whatever works. So I mean, I'm just saying what worked for me.
Yeah, that's so important, and it just makes you appreciate life even more. Like, for an example, I remember he was telling me that his mom used to do laundry, like, with, like, a big rock and then a little rock, and they would, like, scrub it in, like, El Salvador and stuff like that, and that's how they would do their laundry, or at least that's how she would do her laundry. And I was just like, that is so crazy. Like, you know, I've only been to Puerto Rico once, and that was last year, and, like, life is so different there that I know, like, life is so different from El Salvador that I loved it even more. Like, the culture, the food, like, everything. I want to visit there. Their food is so good. They have the best food. But, yeah, it just made me love it even more. I think that's the best benefit. I be telling people that I'm Salvadoran because I really think it's been 7 years, you know.
Yeah, you can claim it.
I claim it a little bit. But, yeah, I think that's great.
I used to think tacos were just like ground beef and hard shells, and then I met her and she's like, no, let me show you how we do it. And I'm like, okay, like, shit. Oh, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The experiences too, like, even if it's not, you know, like Hispanic food or Latin food or Italian food that I know how to make, like, going out somewhere else to be able to experience a different type of food, even if you're not going to like the country where it comes from, but if you're going to like a Brazilian steakhouse or something like that, like, it's good to be able to find things that both of you like and things that both of you don't like, because I just feel like it brings that bonding even closer together.
It just makes things so much more fun when you can just, like, trust that person. Like, that's great.
So literally, you have like a ride or die with you that's like always there for you. They'll fight for you.
And it's like never awkward.
Oh yeah, like you can be in a room with them.
Awkward.
Yeah, it's rough. Like, that's why, like, I always say this to her, and I'm like, if I was to ever go back, and like, not like go back, but like, if I was to ever be in the dating scene now, I think it would be so, like, brutal for me, because, like, I would have no idea what to do.
Yeah, I hope that's the question coming up.
Probably
dating after a long-term relationship, but we'll see.
Let's see. Do you think sex is better with a long-term partner or short-term?
Short. No, just kidding. No. This is okay. I'm gonna answer this real quick, because not real quick. This might be a little long term, because, like, the person gets to know your body, what you like, what you don't like. Short term, it's just fun. Like, it's just so fun. Don't do it. I'm just saying from my experience, it's just fun, you know. But I know. I'm sorry, Kim. No, but it gets tiring real quick. Let me tell you, like that little phase that you have after, like, a long-term relationship, and you want to do your own thing. Like, that was a temptation for me. I don't know if this is gonna be another question, but I'm gonna just say real quick. The temptation for me, you know, like, I want to see what's out there. Like I said, I was 14. I was so young. That's all I knew was one person, and, like, it's not about sex necessarily. It's about experiences as well. But then that's kind of what was on my mind too, you know, obviously. So then when I got out of that and I started doing my own thing, like, yeah, it's fun in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, and then it gets so bored. Like, those people, they just want you for that reason specifically, and it's just like there's no connection. So it's just like, this is so meaningless, and then you just kind of feel like, well, me specifically, that you're just giving people your body, and it's just like, it doesn't mean anything. So long term, I was just kidding.
I can't really speak on short term. All I know is long term, but I think it's cool. I think it's important too to, like, be able to establish, like, sex isn't the most important part of a relationship. I think it is important to some degree. I know some people might disagree, but I think it is a little bit important. But I don't think it's important. I don't think it's like the end all be all in a relationship. You know.
I agree.
But it is, you know, important.
Let's see. It says, would you / have you ever tried other relationship styles with your partner? Oh.
I'm not really sure what that means. Other relationship styles?
I haven't, but I definitely would be in an open relationship. But that is only if I was with a female first. And that's just my point of view. I would have to be with a girl first, and then we would have to be open to a guy. Because I think I'm not a lesbian. Like, I'm more straight than I am, like, bisexual. But I am interested in girls, so I think I would have to be with a girl first, and then if we would be open to a guy. I think that's kind of what it's saying. Would you be open?
I don't think I would, just because
Kim will kill you.
I know, right?
She would murder it. Like, don't even answer that question, because if she's watching, she's gonna.
I don't think, like, even without, like, I don't think I would be able to do it, just because I don't like to think I'm a completely jealous person. I am a little jealous of a person, but like if I was to see her, especially after so long, with another person, I'd be like, I can't do that. There's no way. Screw that. Fuck that.
That's actually kind of crazy.
I know she's the same way.
Oh yeah, she's crazy for you, in the best way possible. But I was actually on YouTube, and I watched this like polyamorous couple, and it was like a guy and a girl, and they were like married for so long, and then they added a third person into their marriage, and now it's just the girls dating. She got a divorce from him. I'm like, this is so crazy. Yeah, so it's crazy how that. Yes. So you watch them? Yeah. Oh, they're so great. You watch the girls now?
They're way better off without the guy.
Thank you. They seem so much happier. Yeah. I love that.
I mean, it's all about like it's all about agreeing. So like, again, like if someone was to bring it up, and I like, obviously I would try to be open-minded at first, but like, I think my opinion is overwhelmingly no to that question, and I know hers is the same, because if it wasn't, like, I feel like I would have heard of it by now. But
yeah.
So like we met a girl, like I met a girl like at college, like who we became friends with, only friends. I swear to God.
This is getting spicy.
But like Kim first heard of her, and she was like, oh my God, like you're friends with another girl, and I was like, no, like it's really not like that. And then like she met her, like I made sure like, hey, look, there's no romance involved in this whatsoever. Like, we're good friends. She was in a couple of my classes. That was it. Mm-hmm. And then now, like, Kim and her are closer friends than me and her. So I'm like,
so do I hear a polyamorous relationship? No, I'm just kidding. JK.
But I think it's important to be able to have those discussions. Like, you don't want to be with a person that you're afraid to ask that question, because
definitely.
Like I know I could ask that
like
question.
Anger. I feel like or not like anger necessarily, but it builds some resentment. Yeah. Like when you just feel like you can't be who you want to be, or even ask those type of questions for your partner to like see where their head's at. Yeah, that's definitely important. But yeah.
All right. Oof. So this is a 2-part question, or multi-part question.
Oh God, you got that way too long.
If a long-term relationship was to end, does a person lose a part of themselves? We'll start with that.
Okay.
So because you had a long-term relationship.
Yeah, I do.
Also, you have to imagine if you and Kimmy ended tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
In my point of view, from what I've been through, I would say no. I feel like you think that's what it is because you're just so used to that person, but no. Because like I remember, even though I was the one to end it, I'm like, I can't imagine my life without this person. Like, this is all I know. This is my life. But that's not it. Like, you become so much better, hopefully. I mean, just speaking from my experience, I become so much better. I did the things that I wanted to do. Like, you just gain that confidence back. That I feel like that's what I was lacking. So I would say no to that. What do you think?
I agree to, like, for the most part. I feel like I would lose a part of myself just because I feel like I've been so long, but obviously I haven't been in the situation. But I agree with the fact that, like, I think it would take a while for me to be able to be back. Because, like I was saying at the beginning, kind of, it's important that each person has things outside of the relationship. So, like, I would have, like, everything that I want to be. Like, I love sports, so, like, I would have sports that I could go fall back on, like, friends and, like, obviously future career and school and things like that I would have to obviously fall on, because I don't want to, lose sight of myself.
Right. And that's so important. And the next
the second part, yeah. So if the long-term relationship was to end, do you need to find yourself again, like re-find yourself?
Definitely, because I mean, it kind of depends, because you are like you have been saying that, like, you still have to have your own, like, you have to be your own individual, right? But when I was in a relationship, I was not my own individual. I was really codependent, I think that's the word, on my partner, because that's all I known. Like, we were so young, like, sleep over my house or his house. We would go to school together, So I didn't know anything different. Like, that was my life. Like, without you, you are, like, literally my life. So I feel like, yeah, I had to learn to be my own person. But it was such a blessing in the same sense. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I would need a long time. Like, I have a friend of mine who just got out of a long-term relationship, and he's still, like, he refuses to, like, even see other women until he kind of, like, rights himself, which I
That's
admire, and
important.
I think
Yeah.
that's like super, good for them.
Yeah.
But like I feel like I would be the same way. Like I would need a while before I was like, all right, I think I know who I am again. But yeah, again, it's important that you are who you are with or without that person. Even though like if you were to break off a long-term relationship, I feel like with anybody, even if you were the perfect relationship, it would take a while for that person to be able to be like, okay, I think I'm ready to be me again.
Yeah, because you're just so used to the routine of that person. Even if you are your own individual, you're just so used to your life with that person. So definitely. And going back about what you said about your friend, that's good that they're taking some time off. That's something that I didn't do. Like once I got out of a relationship with my ex, and this is gonna probably stir the pot a little bit, but whatever.
I didn't make these questions, by the way.
Yeah, me neither. But yeah, once I got out of that relationship, I kind of jumped into a new one within a couple months, and that is just like so not healthy because that one ended too. But yeah, you really do need to find yourself, even if you're really sure that like you're better off without that person, because I've came from a toxic relationship prior, and I'm like, I'm good without this person. Like I know I'm such a better person without this person. You still need to find yourself. Like you still need to have that time to yourself. And that's so important.
Do you think that relationship after your long-term relationship ended because you weren't able to be yourself yet?
Yeah, 100%. 100%, because I didn't give myself enough time to hit the reset button and find me and be my own person and like do what I like to do. I'm a party girl. I love to go out and like drink, have fun, go to the club. Like I love to do that, but I think I was just newly 21, or I was just about to turn 21, so I didn't have that yet. So then when I got into the new relationship, I'm like fiending. I'm like, I need to go out to the club, I need to do this. And it's just like, but some people take that like you want to go to the club to find people. Like in my opinion, you can go to the club and still be in a relationship, still be loyal, because like what you said, a cheater's going to be a cheater regardless, so it's just, but yeah, I definitely think I should have waited like a year after that. But you live and you learn.
And the final part of the question. Sorry, this is a 3-parter.
Ooh,
Yeah.
this is a 3-part.
So after your long-term relationship ended, do you feel like you're a new person, like now, as compared to what?
And what my ex said to me, you've changed. So yes, I am a new person.
I feel like I'm a new person just like being within the same relationship for so long.
Oh, that's because you guys are healthy.
Yeah.
When you're not in a healthy relationship, like I wasn't, you're literally stuck in limbo doing the same thing, just like because you can't grow, or at least I felt like I couldn't grow, because then it's just like now you're acting different or now you're this, but it's just like you want to be the person you want to be, and that's like the resentment that I was talking about earlier. If you can't have those conversations, or if you can't be who you want to be, you're gonna get resentment, and that's what leads to breakups and stuff like that. So yeah, I think I'm a new person. I'm definitely who I want to be now. Like I'm wild, but in the best way possible. Like I just be going crazy.
That's all that matters. As long as you like yourself, that's all that's important.
Ooh, this is fun.
I feel like we're like not even answering the questions. Like
we're just going
like
on. We're just going on a whole. Yeah.
It's kind of going.
Yeah. Okay, this next one. We do need the logos on the back though. Okay, if you could go back in time, would you do it again? Hell nah. No, just kidding. Hell nah. Hell nah. Are you kidding me? No, would you? I mean, would you? Yeah, you would, of course. He's so in love, guys.
Yeah.
Don't hit his line, okay? Do not hit his line.
Hit your line.
Hit my line?
Landline.
No, seriously, any cuties out there? Because anybody watching me, No, I'm just kidding. I definitely would. It was, I mean, as much as it hurt multiple times, and like, you cry and you have those things like, I didn't deserve this, or like whatever, that's growth. Like you are learning from those experiences. I wouldn't be who I am right now if I didn't have those experiences, and I mean that wholeheartedly. Like I needed that pain and I needed those tears to be who I am, to be stronger, because then like I'm not that I wanted it to happen to me, but like, or like those situations to happen to me at a young age, but I'd rather have it to me at a young age. So now I'm strong-minded. That shit can never happen to me again. Like, not that it can never happen to me again, but it's so less of happening to me because I know so much more better now. Like, my bar and my standards are so high that, like, you can't mess with me. Like, I will never settle for less again. So, yeah, I think I would do it again, even though that shit was hurtful,
Yeah, that's a good word, like growth, especially, like, to be able to come out of a relationship and instead of, like, falling back into the same habits, to be able to grow out of that and be like, hey, I'm a different person. I'm expecting more. I'm expecting,
But I am talking to this new guy. Ooh. And I definitely see how, I hate the word toxic, but how toxic I am compared to how he is, because he came from a more healthier relationship rather than for me. And I see it, and it's because I'm so used to that it makes me like almost sad to put him through that, because I know that it's not right, but it's like something that you can't help, because you're just so used to doing that on a daily basis, being toxic with someone, or like just like not being healthy in general, that like you kind of carry that. As much as I don't want to, like I want to leave that, I know it's wrong, but it's so hard to just like not do that. So yes and no, would I do it? I would do it for the reasons that I said, and I wouldn't do it because the pain, and I'm just like, I'm a little toxic, and I don't want to be toxic. I want to be healthy, and I know what healthy looks like because of him, but like at the same time, I just like, I can't help it. Like sometimes I just, like the other day we got into an argument, I took my red receipts off, and like he had noticed, and I did it on purpose to be, spiteful, or like I was gonna take him off Snapchat, because that's just the way my brain works. Like if we're getting into an argument, you're gonna cut off everything. It's like I don't want to do that, but my brain just tells me like, do that, because I'm just so used to like the toxic ways that's something I would have done with my ex that I'm carrying now into this new thing that I have going on, which is not good, because we are doing good, Yeah, so any toxic ways, you leave behind all of it in the trash. Right out. Yeah.
I know that you're like 100%. You'll do it again, but like, is there anything you would do different?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
Do differently? I think at the beginning part of our relationship, I probably would have tried to spend more time, kind of like separated. Not that like, I don't know. I hope that doesn't.
She's gonna get mad. Yeah, she's gonna get mad.
Sorry. Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people in like school and stuff kind of saw us as us and not like
cutest couple.
Me, or we did win best couple.
Yeah, that should have been me. I'm just saying.
She was petitioning hard for that. I was like, I don't really care.
Yeah, she
was. I don't want to win. She's
gonna choke me if I got that.
But I feel like a lot of my friends, especially like in high school that I knew like because of high school, were kind of like, oh, that's Anthony and Kim. Like, it's not like it's not Anthony,
Yeah.
And I feel like I would have wanted it to be like them to know me as me and not as me.
She's definitely rolling her eyes right now. She's so mad right now.
Most of the people who were like that, I don't even like talk to anymore, so it doesn't even matter. But like if I had to pick something differently, I would probably just pick that. I mean, there's not much I would do differently, but even that is like a minor thing that I wouldn't even think about. This is the last one. Okay, go off. How will you be spending your Valentine's Day this year?
I don't like that question. I'm going to just drink because this is how I'm going to be spending it. Because what are you talking about?
Is this coming out before or after Valentine's Day?
After.
So this is going to come out after Valentine's Day.
Ooh, tell us. We won't tell her. Oh, okay, is it a surprise?
So, I mean, I planned dinner. She knows the dinner. Like we have this one restaurant that we really love, each of us.
You guys are so fucking cute.
It's in Boston. It's an Italian restaurant.
Can I third wheel?
I mean, if you want,
Yeah,
you're all come.
I might have.
We've done it before. Like I've had an anniversary dinner before where we've had like friends come with us and stuff like that.
Okay. As long as I don't gotta pay.
Yeah, I mean.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know about all that. And I know she loves Disney stuff. She loves Winnie the Pooh especially. So I got her like a Pandora bracelet, and they had a Winnie the Pooh charm. So I got her that. I was trying to find like something Winnie the Pooh related, and everything I could find was like kids stuff, and I'm like, bro.
She'd fit into it.
Yeah, she'd fit into it. I
will not be doing anything.
You still have fun on your own, though.
You're right. But like,
however,
I want someone to spoil me. Actually,
how do you want to spend it?
Ooh, like what's your dream Valentine's Day if you had to pick one?
Wait, can I say a bad? No, never mind. He's gonna kill me. Okay, hopefully he's not watching. Probably because he.
That's how you won't want to spend it.
Yeah. Okay. So when I was dating my ex, this is gonna be so horrible, right? So he was just coming back from his country or whatever, and he's telling me, he was hyping it up. He was hyping it up like, yeah, I'm coming back like a couple days early so we can spend Valentine's. This is last Valentine's Day, by the way. So we can spend Valentine's Day together. And I was like, oh, yay, like I can't wait. You know what I'm saying? Nothing planned. The day of Valentine comes and he was like, so what do you want to do? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean what I want to do? I thought you came early because you had something planned. So I was working at Legal Seafoods at the time. Tell me why we went to Legal Seafoods.
Ooh. Ooh.
Did you get that discount?
I didn't pay, so I don't care. No. So, I mean, he paid. I just got drunk. But, yeah, that was...
Where, like, you see how Megan's like, oh, nothing was planned for her, and then you're planning for Kimmy. Do the guys want to feel like they got planned something?
Oh, that's like...
I feel like our birthdays are kind of for that. Like,
Aww.
I remember at the beginning of our relationship, Kim and I were kind of like, I mean, we were in high school, so we were kind of like, we didn't have a lot of money or whatever, so it would be like, look, we're not going to go crazy on Valentine's Day. Like, let's go out, we'll go, like, to a mall, and we'll get, like, fast food or whatever, and we'll watch a movie at my place or, you know, whatever. But I don't really look at it as a way, like, oh, I want to be pampered on Valentine's Day. Like, because when I was growing up, my mom would always be like, she'd give me like one of those like big Hershey kisses that are like this big, and she'd be like, "Happy Valentine's Day."
Aw, that's so cute.
Yeah, I loved it. Like it was so cool, and I would have like chocolate or whatever. But like I wouldn't really want like, not that I would hate it if it happened, but I wouldn't really want like a whole day planned out for me.
It's not something you desire.
Yeah, like I like being able to plan things, and like I think from like my birthday to let her kind of take the reins for that. Like I think that's really cool because like that's like I'm not really a big fan of birthday parties or whatever, but like when she gets to do what she wants to do, and like I can see like me being happy makes her happy, obviously, then it's like totally worth it. I'm like, yeah, I'll take it, whatever.
Like, that's so cute. Why you guys, all guys are like that?
So what's your ideal Valentine's?
My ideal Valentine's? Not to be in freaking Boston, that's for sure. No,
Get out of the
just kidding.
cold.
Honestly, I'm not super high maintenance. I would just say, I would even like to just go to Earl's or something. If you just have something like a reservation anywhere, like just to show that you cared. Yeah, like, you know, maybe some flowers. I don't even hold the chocolate. I don't even want the chocolate. Bring a bottle of wine or something, you know. We can just even stay in and like watch movies. I don't even care. But it's just, if you have something thought out that, you know, that we can do together, I would love that. Like, it doesn't have to be anything, but like, you know, when you're asking me the day of, when you know everything's, you know, booked up, and we go to my job, that's not ideal. That's not. I had a good time. Not gonna say I didn't have. Let me not say that. I had a good time, but
you're gonna get so many phone calls.
Yeah, I hate you.
How could you say that?
Yeah.
How dare you? Yeah, but Valentine's Day is cool. I think like I'm not super into like flowers, but I always get her something like no matter what, and then it's like some sort of dinner on top of that.
So like, do you have a brother or not? Because
I have a sister, but that's it.
I mean, you guys heard. You just rewind to what I said back there. I haven't, but I definitely would be in an open relationship. But that is only if I was with a female first. Yeah.
Always got to do something. Even if the girl ever says like, oh, we don't do Valentine's, they're lying.
They're lying.
They want you to do Valentine's Day. I learned that the hard way. Don't listen to them. Unless it's something like you can't afford Valentine's Day, then it's a different story. And like that's something that you should talk with the other person.
But I feel like even just pick a movie out.
Yeah.
Don't be like, what do you want to watch? You know what I'm saying?
Like a walk in the park or like ice, you know, something that's
something cute.
Not
just
crazy,
say, you know?
but you can still do something.
Yeah, put Netflix on.
Yeah.
Have a movie picked out.
To the friends that don't have a long-term relationship, have never been in a long-term relationship, what is some advice that you
advice to wrap it up?
Don't do it.
I like it, but I like that, but I would say like don't force yourself to do it. So obviously like if you meet the right person, you meet the right person.
What if they're in a relationship right now and they're like, oh, I can't. You know what I mean?
I got this, Rizzo.
Yeah.
I got this. Even though he's the one that's in.
Relationship advice in general.
I got you, okay? Be honest with yourself and with your partner. That's so huge. Like, be honest exactly what you want and what is to come for this. My biggest downfall is that I got bored. I just completely got bored, and I was so young. Like, you know, you're just doing the same thing over and over again, but that's not always the case. Like Rizzo, almost 8 years. You know, you can spice it up. Not to speak on your relationship, but you can spice it up, and that's what you have to keep in mind. Keep things spicy. Don't do things every day the same thing. It gets boring, and that's just life. That doesn't mean that you're like shitting on your partner or your relationship, but that's life. You have to, you know, take chances and risk and be spontaneous with your partner, because if not, it won't work. Rizzo?
Yeah, it's definitely like up to you. It's whatever you want to do, what the other person wants to do. If you don't feel like you're ready for it, don't do it because it's gonna fail. especially like at the age that I'm at now, I feel like a long-term relationship kind of obviously includes like marriage and kids, because obviously like it's that
Ooh,
age, you know.
I'm gonna be auntie.
Like I do want kids, and my partner wants kids too, so that's like pretty cool. But like if you're gonna get into a long-term relationship, these are the questions that you have to be ready for. These are the questions you have to ask yourself, ask the other person, and if one of you isn't in for it, no matter how much you like that person, you have to know like some of those things you can't change. So it's like if you really like that person, you want kids and she doesn't want kids, so then you're gonna have to deal with like having that's a conversation that you're gonna be having like all the time, constantly, especially when you have a family that always wants grandkids. But again, luckily we both are on the same page in terms of that.
Yeah, definitely. Those awkward questions or like those awkward feelings that you have to be open to having those conversations, because they come and they come hard, and if you're not ready for it, it's never gonna work, you know. And just be honest. That I feel like a lot of people aren't honest with themselves or with the other person because they're scared of how it will make them feel, or how, like in my situation, I was scared to be honest with my partner, not for how he would feel, but how I would feel to make him feel, if that makes sense. Like I didn't want to hurt him, but then I was hurting myself because I would not say it, you know. You can't do that. You have to really be honest and, you know, be spontaneous, love them, and know what they love and what they don't like, because that can start an argument in a minute.
Oh yeah. Know those argument starters and just like stay away.
Yeah. Or don't. No, just kidding.
Unless you like arguing, you know.
I do.
So this is the end of the podcast, guys. Just want to say thank you to Daisy and Kato again for inviting us on. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there, even though this might be coming out afterwards, but still happy. Hope you had a good Valentine's Day. You know, shout out Landline. Make sure you watch, subscribe,
hit that like button,
exactly,
and comment down below. Oh, I feel like such a YouTuber.
Our socials and stuff will be down below, and if you like one of us, you can give us a follow.
And if you see me on Chispa, you know, hit that follow, hit that love button. You know what I'm saying?
What is your handle?
Oh,
hold on, you gotta respect the cheers.
My IG handle is gonna be She Is Megan with 2 N's.
I'm just Anthony Rizzo on LinkedIn.
Bye. Yeah.